All right, live again. Second round pick, Scott Fishbowl, 13. Started at 101 with Josh Allen. Trying to load the WoRP site right now, southharmonff.com. Can't pull it up, but I do have the WoRP chart pulled up for Scott Fishbowl, 13. As I kind of talked about with the first pick, most sheer number of points per game, still the quarterback position. And as you see here with the WoRP, the quarterback, other than the elite tight end, which you're seeing Travis Kelce pretty much going top 3, top 4 in every league. Other than the tight end, there's no higher WoRP difference makers in this draft other than the quarterbacks. I did not expect this to happen, but in my draft, the Hormel division, shout out to Hormel. In my draft, I did not expect there to be a second quarterback that I would have considered to be one of these quote-unquote WoRP difference makers available. As you can see on the chart, really, the drop-off at quarterback starts to happen right around QB 12-ish. You're right here looking at around 1 wins above replacement at QB 12. Slightly higher than that, there's a drop-off you can clearly see right around QB 15. Once you get to QB 18 and lower, but especially QB 24 and lower, you're essentially talking about really adding nothing other than just placeholder value. So really my biggest decision here is, with the board played out as it has, who do I draft in terms of quarterback builds if all the quarterbacks that I would consider to be one of the guys that finish inside that, call it top 12, guys that I think they can give me at least 1 wins above replacement. Thus far, we've had Josh Allen go by me, but then the draft went Pat Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Justin Fields, Justin Herbert. So 7 quarterbacks in the first round. Trevor Lawrence, Deshaun Watson, Dak Prescott, Aaron Rodgers, and Kirk Cousins have gone inside the top 21 picks. So I am here at the 212. I did not expect this to be the decision that I would be making. I considered that most likely there's going to be a receiver here. Stephon Diggs was somebody that I thought about half a round ago, figuring, you know what, I don't want to take a receiver early, but looking at the WoRP data, there are paths where you could draft a receiver as long as I stick with that roster construction that I mentioned before. Remember on the first video, my optimal roster construction is going to be only 6 receivers, a bunch of running backs, and quarterbacks. I said 3, but with this pick, 14th overall scorer last year, QB 9 in points per game, I think has a shot to finish in that range, that high pink range above QB 12, where you're getting at least 1 win over replacement. And I think there are some later stack options. So I'm going to keep this one pretty simple. At the 112, we are going to, or 212, we are going to draft Daniel Jones, who is still there. Kirk Cousins, Aaron Rodgers, Dak Prescott, all guys went ahead of Daniel Jones. So quite simple. This will be a quick one since I can't pull up the WoRP tool right now, but Daniel Jones falling to the 212 gives me a Josh Allen plus Daniel Jones start. One benefit I like with this combo is not only the WoRP potential for especially Allen, but even Daniel Jones, but also the stack options that are going to be available. I think with the way that I'm going to build my team, essentially through 11 running backs, 3 quarterbacks, 2 tight ends, and the rest receivers, so that's going to be 6. Maybe 7. This gives me the flexibility to maybe only go 2 QBs, given this distribution that, listen, once you get to about QB 18, it just doesn't matter. You just need spot starts, right? So I really don't care if I have QB 19, whether they have a job to start the season or I have to wait for QB 42 that I can get off waivers. It's essentially the same thing when you're talking about WoRP impact. They're just emergency replacements for one of my starters when I have a bye week or when I have injuries. So I'm going Daniel Jones, 212. There's a lot of stack options with both, especially with the way I'm going to build my team. So we'll lock the pick in. Hopefully the site is back up again, southharmonff.com. Check out the WoRP tool there where you'll get this stuff on many, many other tools that you can find to help you out with roster construction. And then also donate to Fantasy Cares, fantasycares.org. Make a donation. Again, the Patreon from Dynasty and Chill, portions of that will go to Fantasy Cares at the end of July. So lock it in. Josh Allen at 101. Followed by Daniel Jones at 212. We will be back for picks at the 3-4 turn. Be chill.